Hey guys, I'm Jordan. Welcome to the Hype Files YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do some training. I'm going to answer some questions, so come follow along. Yeah, so for me, like, it got to the point where, what more do I have to gain from this? Yeah, there's things I didn't achieve, but I'm happy with what I did. Also, like, I have to say this, like, as a guy, you can only do it for so long before your body makes you stop. I never wanted to be in a position where my body makes me stop, you know, like, health is the most important thing. And so many guys look past that. So many guys retire, they say they're retired, they come back. And at that point, honestly, is it passion or is it an addiction? I don't know. That's for them to decide. But for me, like, I want to be someone that, you know, I did what I had to do. Bodybuilding for me as well, like, it led me to another passion, which is coaching, and it means I can put 100% of my focus into that. So I'm still involved. It's not like I've completely left the industry. You know, that's important, because for me to be the best coach I can be, like, in my opinion, some people might disagree, but just for me, like, I know how I coach, I know what it requires. I can't do both up here. I can't be waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever, you know, when I'm international clients now. Like, I can't be doing that while I'm like 4 weeks out from a show. You can't. You've got to sleep. You've got something's got to give, and I can't not do things at 100%. So, like, I'd rather just do what I do at 100% and just be content with that. And, like, yeah, who knows what the future holds? But for now, you know, I've got my new thing, and yeah, I'm gonna take over the world with coaching. So it is what it is. So this is floor dumbbell flies. So everything I'm doing now, I'm not doing my own programming, by the way. It's programmed for me, specifically for fighting, kickboxing. I believe the point of this movement, I don't actually know the actual reason, but I believe the point is it's training this movement, which is the same line as a hook. So yeah, today's about hitting every body part as well. So this is like the pec movement. I did pressing yesterday. So again, it's just hitting the muscles from in different ways. Seems big. I mean, it's always big now, but yeah, like it's gonna be the same as every year. It's gonna be competitive. There's a lot of them. Yeah, you can expect the same thing you got last year, but better. Everyone's going to be better than they were last year that competed. Everyone that's new is going to look, everyone's going to be better than they've been. That's the goal. So that's my only goal, really, is to have everyone better than they were the last time on stage. Unless they were miles off it, then I want them to be way better, but that's the goal. So So the two things that have changed the most, in my opinion, maybe not the most, but two things that stand out to me, and it's almost the same thing. People have got smarter, and that's a blessing and a curse. If you go on Instagram, you see the most ridiculous training. Like, I'm not even gonna talk about it, because everyone knows what I mean. But this science-based thing, like, yeah, there's a place for it, but it's gone way too far. So people train like pussies, and at the same time, people are a bit smarter in their approach. They're not just starving to get shredded. So yeah, people got smarter, and the right people have used that to get better, and then there's other people that have used it to totally like deflect from hard work. That's what I reckon. So with sportsmanship, like leading up to competitions, I have no issue with, you know, like being confident, wanting to win. It's a sport, like who cares? If someone can't take that, it is what it is. But if you lose, I think there's nothing worse than someone being a sore loser on stage. It's okay, you can be disappointing. You don't have to smile, you can look upset. But like carrying on, like throwing your medal or refusing to shake hands, it happens. Taking it out on the person that beat you, putting stuff up online after, it's just cringe. Like it's just, be humble in victory and be gracious in defeat. That's what I say. At the same time, if you win, you don't need to rub it in their face, unless it's like something happened before the show and it's like, you know, they deserve it, but it's rare, it's never gonna happen. So yeah, I think just take your wins like a champ and take your losses with honor and come back better. Biggest red flags to coaches, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about. I think the first one is just not having any track record. And this doesn't mean they can't help you. This doesn't mean they don't have knowledge, but there's no experience, there's no evidence here. So if you want someone that's going to guarantee results, they need to have evidence that they know what they're doing. They need to have some knowledge. Not just someone that's worked with one genetic freak or has never worked with anyone. That's the first thing. If you're with the coach, in my opinion, the red flags would be one, very poor communication, like not replying to your messages. Yeah, they're human. They might miss one every now and then by mistake. It happens. I do that myself sometimes, not often, but that's the first one. Taking days to send check-ins is ridiculous. Like you should be getting your check-in the same day or the next day, latest. Anything past that, unless there's an emergency, is ridiculous in my opinion. What else? Trying to like undercut other coaches, messaging you and being like, hey, I'll coach you for less than they're coaching. Guys, if that's your, but at the same time, as the client, if that's your deciding factor for switching coaches, I mean, that's on you really. Like you should be looking for the person that's going to help you be your best, not, oh, this person's going to charge me $20 a week less. Yeah, that'd be my top 3, to be honest. So I always wanted to do some form of fighting, but it doesn't go with bodybuilding. Like they don't complement each other. They're kind of polar opposites, which is a good thing now. But I was kind of lost. I was like, I need to do something. I need a new goal. So what's something extreme I can pick? Well, kickboxing. Originally I was gonna do jiu-jitsu, but changed my mind. Thought I'll do kickboxing. And I started, and yeah, I haven't looked back. It's been awesome. The biggest lessons I've had, like obviously, of course, like. The fights taught me things about fighting. So it taught me, like the first one I learned like, hey, stay calm. I've got to work on this, I've got to work on this, I've got to work on this. The second one went well, but there's a lot of things that could have been better. There's things I need to work on from like a fighting standpoint. But the actual learning that I've got from martial arts is more from the training. So this taught me so much. Like I could just talk about this all day, but if I had to shorten it, the first thing it's taught me is like, you get out what you put in. You can fast track it. Like like anything in life, you can fast track it if you work really hard, if you surround yourself with the right people and you do all the right things. We can say that about literally anything. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, like, for me, when I first started, and even now, like, you've got to overcome a lot in this type of training. Like, there's going to be days where just the training itself gives you a lot of anxiety. You've got sparring you've got sparring tomorrow, and you know who's going to be there, and you know how it's going to be. And you don't want to do it. It's scary, it's intimidating, but you've got to do it. You've got to man up, you've got to pick up your nuts, and you've got to go. You're overcoming things like that almost every single day. So when you're doing that constantly, that's going to do things to you as a person. So it's helped me so much. But yeah, the biggest things I've learned have just come from within and have been from the whole journey. I wouldn't say the fights, to be honest. I would say the journey itself, like the training and like just the day-to-day life of being a fighter has taught me more about myself and has helped me more as a person than actually stepping in the ring. Stepping in the ring was just, so far anyway, has been like a progress tick or a checkpoint. Something to aim for and strive for. But of course it's cool to show what you've learned, see for yourself what you've learned. Do things in training, you're like, oh yeah, I'm good at that, but then you put it to the test for real. Like, oh, actually, that wasn't as good as I thought it was, but that was better. So, yeah. Yes, there'll be a fight. There's no date though, so I don't know. I don't know when it'll be. We'll see. Depends on my coaches. When they tell me, Jordan, you're fighting, that's when I'll be fighting. So they're in charge. Ask them. I'm doing amazing. Physically, the best I've felt in as long as I can remember. Mentally, I'm locked in. I know, well, of course, we all have our things. We all go through our shit. We all have our stresses and worries and all that, but I'm not here to complain. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I'm feeling good. Yeah, in general, yes. If it's to compete this year, it's maybe. It depends where you're at. I'm not gonna take someone on that's not in a position to prep. If it's not, I don't wanna put someone through hell to get on stage at 80%. You gotta do it the right way. So if you are wanting to compete with me, it's not a no, but we have to have a conversation, have a consult. Message me, talk to me, and we'll sort you out. Who knows, maybe. Hey, as you know, it's very time consuming. It's a lot of work. Doesn't look like it from the outside, but it is. Honestly, the reason that stopped in the first place was I moved house and it all kind of got thrown off. Everything was packed and then you run out of things to talk about. I don't want to just start like talking about the same stuff. There's so many episodes up there with so much information that's still relevant. I get people messaging me now like, hey, is this still relevant? Of course it is. Go listen to it. There's a lot of episodes, there's a lot of information, free information. Will it come back? Yeah, maybe, probably, but if it does, it'll be tweaked a little bit, a little different. I don't want to do the same thing as everyone else. There's so many podcasts now, I think one of the biggest things that's holding people back in that regard, something that I see all the time, is people talk about doing all the right things, people post about doing all the right things. Very few people do all the right things all the time. With bodybuilding, anyone that's ever been really good, unless you're in that 1% of genetic elite, living this lifestyle year round. And to be honest, it's the only way. I'm not saying you can't have balance to some degree, you can't have fun at certain points of the year, but you need to be locked in all the time. And a lot of people here don't do that. They can be locked in for prep, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks even, 24 weeks even, but what's happening the rest of the time? Are you doing what you need to do? Because I'll tell you what now, with bodybuilding, you may be ahead of someone. It only takes one off season for them to catch you, and it only takes one off season to catch the person ahead of you. So that's why you see at shows, the placing is always like this, because not everyone's staying locked in. And like I said, you post about it, you talk about it, but are you doing it? I get people hit me up and ask me about coaching, and they'll say, oh, I want to work with you because, I'm not getting where I want to be with my current coach. All good, let's get to work. Week 1 goes by, week 2 goes by, week 3 goes by. You haven't followed the plan for a full week yet. Well, the problem wasn't your coach, the problem was you. So, locked in. That's the biggest thing. And if you go overseas, you see these like really high level competitors, they are locked in. They are locked in, and the ceiling is so high that they're chasing that ceiling. Don't get fooled by a ceiling that may be slightly lower. Don't let that bring you down. Aim high, stay locked in all the time, and do everything you need to do. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked my answers. Hope you enjoyed them. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and follow for more.